my learned seniors, my colleague and juniors and the staff members. This program basically relates to actually we all know that there are a lot number of people who are affected by some kind of ailment, some congenital, some acquired later on in the part of their life, which makes pain, and our system is not built particularly to cater to them. But since about a decade ago or so, the thrust towards helping differently able people has been on the greater side as compared to before. Just like there are ramps built for people who are differently able on their limbs. Nowadays it's mandatory to have ramps or provision for lift so that they can locomote themselves with ease as a person who has no ailments. So this program particularly deals with accessibility relating to documents, and it emphasizes on particularly the visually disabled persons who are visually challenged to any extent, because equality presupposes that the field for everyone is level and no one should be disadvantaged because of their physical ailments, etc. Now, when it comes to document, it is very important that we need to see it to read it. So it will be very difficult for a visually challenged person if the challenge is 100%, or even to let's say 60-70%, to read it and then again interpret it what is written on the screen or books or etc. We have Braille. I think it's pronounced Braille, right? For pronunciation, I will fall back to Subarna. I think it's pronounced Braille. That's in the book. But in the computer system, I think there are keyboards also, which are manufactured to cater to visually challenged people. But when it comes to screen reading, etc., still they have to depend on hearing what is read in the screen and what comes through it. So how to make these documents accessible we will be focusing particularly on this topic. The rest we all know, creation of physical infrastructures in the building, etc. We are well aware of how that is done. But how these documents are to be made accessible, we will learn that. I'm just waiting for keyboard so I can show how to do it. As of now, none of our documents, even the PDF documents, are very rough documents which we make. We just convert it from Word to PDF, and that's a PDF for us. But PDF document is also formed at the High Court level. We also have committee at the High Court level, which includes Honorable Justice Bhaskar Rajpatan as chairperson, myself, Mr. Sangeet Uttan as one of the member, and some more lawyers are there, and software program technical person is also there. Basically, the purpose of the committee is to, whenever, as of now, the mandate is whenever someone who is visually challenged requests for accessible documents, then the committee must provide it instantly. And all those records where such request has been made must be kept and published quarterly, what the details of such requests meant and what were the documents that were provided. Now, when we talk about PDF, what we are as of now doing is converting the Word into PDF. That's still a PDF, but we are just using 1% of what PDF document is all about. So it has many features, PDF document. Unfortunately, one of the things that I want to tell you all is all these features which PDF document uses or can be used or can be accessed is through some of the softwares which has to be purchased, like Adobe. Adobe Pro would contain all the features that we can use in a PDF document. And yesterday also, just day before yesterday, we searched quite a lot whether there are any free softwares that can do what Adobe Pro does, but very hard to find, except there are two online tools which we can use, but still it does not have some of the major features that Adobe Pro has, and that is required to create a fully accessible document. So I will be requesting the learned district judges of the respective jurisdictions that Adobe Pro, it costs I think 19,000 per year, the license cost. I think that is very much needed in the districts or wherever it is. If the visually challenged people would ask for an accessible document, then to create a fully accessible document, we all will be needing Adobe Pro. That is one software. There could be others. That's what I know, and Adobe is quite famous, and we are quite comfortable using that. So that is the reason why I use this name. There could be others also, which are proprietary softwares. Let's say, if you have this, do you have this standard operating procedure with everyone? Okay. Now, technically, persons would be more knowing how to do this, but still, we'll go through this. Now, there are screen readers also. Okay, I don't think this computer has this facility, so I won't be able to demonstrate that. But screen reader, if you all must understand, is that we all, the name itself is, our very famous word in judiciary, self-explanatory. So the name itself tells its meaning, screen reader. There are screen readers which, when the cursor is pointed towards the screen, then starts reading. But how does it? If we do not have a properly accessible website or even document, then the cursor will start reading. Wherever the mouse is placed, it will start reading randomly. But wherever these accessible features are enabled to the full extent, then the cursor will identify from which portion it should be read. Normally, how do we read screens, right? Which outline? This PC, recycle bin, etc. So it is not that, for the visually challenged, they won't be able to see where the cursors will be pointing. They will usually be, playing with the cursors. But once that screen reader is enabled, then it will start reading from top there. It must be properly enabled. This PC will come first. Then, Foxit, PDF editor, recycle bin. This sequence of reading also can be changed as per the convenience. Some may prefer reading from the Foxit PDF reader extreme left down. This all can be changed in the screen reader. But once that screen reader is fully enabled with all the features, then it does not read randomly. Even if your cursor is pointed somewhere, it is still beginning from one of the end, the assigned end. That makes it much easier for visually challenged to know what is beginning from where. They will be in order. The ordinary is read from the left top. So they will be knowing where things are placed in my desktop at the top. Right? How? Like they will be knowing that I can see this here also, right? So what will the computer read? If it's there, it will read recycle bin first. So I mean to say there we can, we can give a sequence to the screen from where the screen reader will start reading. So this is relating to the screen reader, not to document. I have still not come to document. I'm just talking about screen reader. The proprietary software or even the online softwares are so famous that anyone from the districts, how do you convert Word into PDF? The Microsoft, except the latest version, there is no PDF converter like that. Anyone has done the basic thing. Someone has typewritten in a Word. It could be LibreWriter or Microsoft Word. I would ask ADM South. You type, right? How do you convert to PDF? I'm asking ADM South because you are the head there of administration, right? So you must know. I'll ask this from these. Sushant is also there. You are also. It's open to you also. How do you convert from Word to PDF? See, this is not known. Then me speaking out here all day would be useless. Export. LibreWriter or Microsoft? Microsoft. Microsoft needs an add-on. If it's a lower version, only the higher version has convert to PDF. Right, so I do not know. This one, what is this? Redact a PDF, compress a PDF, prepare a form, fill and sign. So these are all the features which we can use while creating a PDF document, and these are the features that is required for making the document accessible. Now the first feature, if I can show you all this. One of the most important thing in a PDF document while creating, especially judgments, is that protect the PDF. I don't think this PDF, this is see, it's a very low version. That's why it does not even provide that feature. That's why I said Adobe Pro must be purchased. Now, if I want to use that feature, it's asking me to purchase the software. I think this is the rudimentary free version that is being used, so it does not provide it. Now, this can be protected by password also. Can we edit a PDF document? Just 2 days before, we tried and we changed the judgment of conviction in the last line to judgment of acquittal. Only we changed the last line, and it appeared absolutely, unidentified. Just yesterday, I think personally also we should have this one, especially while writing judgment. We were already taught that PDF cannot be edited, but to do that, we have to make it uneditable, and we need these tools for it through that software. Now, one of the very famous, everyone uses this nowadays. Those who don't use Adobe, don't have license to that, they are using one famous thing. I think Susan, do you know what's that? How do you do online? Okay, I'll give it. I love Gangtok. Panita, don't say.
I love PDF.
Who is it? Oh, come on, we shouldn't have said it. You know it. No one from iPod will say anything. This is one of the online tools that we have. At least we can use some of it from here. There's so many merge PDF. Now, what is this merging? Now, this SOP talks about merging of the PDF. In Libre, I think we use, we have something in PDF. There is a software provided in the Ubuntu software itself where we can add to PDF, we can remove pages, etc. Okay, but here is a tool to merge the PDF. If we are still not owning Adobe, then we can use this. I love PDF has many features. Merging is just attaching 2 documents. Suppose someone has applied for, let's say, plaint and judgment. So there is no need to provide plaint and judgment separately. You can merge these 2 documents and provide in a single file the plaint as well as the there is a plaint. I think these documents are not something confidential. Plaint Bhavani Shankar. This is one of the documents we bought in for merging. Now, merge means there is always more than one document, right? So this plus sign, read shadow finally. Now there is a tool, merge PDF. All these are done online only. Merging PDF, download merge PDF. I think the mouse is also too old. So this is the merge document. All the documents, this is plaint. One more. This is read, I think, or plaint is it? So the one document which we merged was the writ shadow mark, something it was written there, and the other is the plaint of Bhavani Shankar, whatever it is. So we can merge n number of documents. Maybe this limited version does not allow more, but I'm not sure about that. But the Adobe Pro, if we have, or even the Adobe, even if not Pro, the merge facility is there in the lower version also. We can merge any number of documents. Now, instead of sending things differently, like plaint, okay, I want to mail plaint and written statement. Instead of mailing 2 documents with 2 attachments, we made a single attachment and a single document has been created. So this is merge. This is the basic thing that is required to understand as to how two PDF documents can be brought together into a single file. Could there be issues in this with, because this is going somewhere, right? Someone's plane, I uploaded it. It went somewhere. Could this be a risk? Initially, when I thought that, all these websites, they do not have, their own physical servers anymore. It's all in the cloud. So, to get what one has been uploaded by some of the people who really want to see that plane, there is just 0.001 chance in a millionth time, because it goes into some of the cloud server, which is very secure. In fact, there is a plan in the phase 3 of the whole judicial data to place it in the cloud. So we need not worry too much about if we are even merging our judgment. Need not worry. The particular documents, because I didn't merge it out here. This went to some of the server where this merging software is placed, and it got merged there and it gave it back to me, right? So it is going somewhere out from outside our control. But still, I would say that there is no need to worry on this. There is a very little chance to get this document by someone who really wants it. It's somewhere in the very protected cloud servers. Most of the things are moving into cloud. The next generation is not of physical servers but of cloud servers. Of course, cloud servers also have physical servers, but it is owned and managed by usually by private companies, where just like Amazon has its own cloud server as a business. It's somewhere in the US, based in the US, or they may have kept it in some other country also. It is possible. So it goes there. There are lots of data going in there. That's the future, and we cannot remain strictly confidential also when it comes to cloud. But there's a very little chance. The entire server has to be attacked to take out. No man will go there just to take out one document. So there's no need to worry about that. We can use this PDF, the iLog PDF very well. Of course, the data nowadays it's more costlier than what is the most costliest, I think, platinum or diamond, whatever it is. I don't know about that, but it's more costlier than that data. So there's no way we can stop anyone from using our data. We can be very protective, but we'll have to place it somewhere. Except for some of the very confidential data, which we may be keeping it on our local servers. All other data, if we are to go online, has to go somewhere in the server. So the future, even for the judiciary, is there's a contemplation that it will be placed in the cloud servers. The only problem is very costly. The fees is very costly, and still we have been asked whether we can manage it on our own. So far we have not given our answers. No, none of the high courts have given their answer. Yes, we can. Some of them are saying, but in writing no one has given. But obviously they want to move to cloud, all our data also. So even from there, really who are doing business on data will definitely take it. There is no way stopping it. I personally believe that the business of cloud server itself is a business of data. Yeah, just like, for example, if we go to Domino's, etc., whatever it is, they ask our mobile number. What is the need to ask? Now ask our mobile number. One fine day I had gone, I had a huge argument. I usually don't give my number because a lot of messages come. So I gave my wife's number, and when the pack was ready, the person said, "I need OTP." I said, "I don't have that phone. I'm not carrying this with my wife." But she was insisting, "No, we need OTP." So I had an argument. Why do you need OTP to deliver me the food? It was some kind of, I think the person was trained that way. That's why, but later on they gave me the parcel. But I have noticed that whenever we are giving these numbers, everywhere, even if you go shopping with that, making the bill, they ask us the number, and we don't really ask why you need this number. Some say that there are so many ideas behind taking the number. Some give that points in that number. Some say, your electronic bill will come there, the link will come there. The moment we give this number, anything connected with that number gets flooded, and all numerous advertising calls keeps on coming. So it's a well thought behind it. So we see it simply, but it's a well thought business that how data can be taken and used. If you see the AI of, it's actually not even an AI. If you see, just like Jamyan was telling me last discussion that that phone one, what was that exactly? That song one. You was doing something and that very thing came out to you on your phone.
No, not the song one. I was saying that on that particular day in the afternoon, I was generally chatting with my friends. So chatting in the sense we met and we were just talking. So the conversation came up like somebody said that South Korean hates Indian or something. My bag was there and the phone was inside the bag. That was around 2 in the afternoon. So later, after I came back home in the evening, when I just opened the YouTube, so there the first video was South Korean hates Indian.
So how this is possible? Can anyone give an idea?
Possible because I was not even using the phone then. It was inside my bag. So then
we have Kapil out here. Kapil is there? Yeah, tell what would be the possibility? The friends were talking. Her phone was inside her bag. So they were talking about South Koreans hating Indians. Okay?
No, we were not talking about that, but one topic was that.
That's what, no. When topic is there, obviously you were not talking. Not talking in a sense that you were saying something. There was a chat going on, right? And afterwards, when she opened her phone, that very thing came on her mobile. Which was in what? Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube?
YouTube. The first video.
What could be the possibility?
So there could be just one. As I can think, there could be just one possibility.
No, I didn't get it.
So as I can think, there could be just one possibility.
Yes.
So those conversations or whatever it is that was being recorded by a device, and once like it's.
How was it recorded?
So I can't say that. So but that can be the possibility.
Through devices, through laptops.
Yeah, no. See, we have so many apps in your mobile phone, and we have allowed the access to microphones. This could be the only possibility, unless it's a coincidence. But coincidence of that huge, which topic which we usually don't talk about, from where is South Korea and where the Indians are, especially we. So when we are using these apps, we have given it permission to so many things. Do you think it sleeps? It's hearing everything. They have access to our microphones. So many have access to our cameras, documents, data, everything. So that could be the one technical possibility, unless it is a coincidence. So I need to say that we have given it everything. So there cannot be a foolproof protection of data, even our judicial system. Of course, they are thinking about bringing in blockchain, which is another level of technology. But even one fine day, they will have a break to that also. So, no need to worry. My whole point is no need to worry while using I love PDF. Okay, still your judgment is with you, and what is uploaded in our websites or whatever the CIS. If someone takes it and does something which is beyond our control, then we are not responsible for it. Okay, so using this one, I love PDF. Has no issues. One can use it freely. Because I think Libre has, what's the PDF called then? Long Libre?
We just have an icon in the top.
Yeah.
Press that and everything turns into a PDF.
Yeah. So there are certain, software in Ubuntu where there's an independent software for merge PDF. We need not go to I love PDF. Split is not required for this SOP. PDF to Word is also there. What we usually do, copy and take it, but these are the features which does it much better rather than copying whole thing and putting it into a Word. The whole alignment goes into a Word if you just copy and take it. But these two, these are all basic things. Everyone can see it and do it. See. This is one dangerous tool out. This is no proper PDF. I don't think this picture is also enabled here. But if, okay, I'm sorry for that. But I can write in the High Court of Kolkata and it will look same. Of course, this is meant for good purpose, not for doing all those things. But you can edit PDF. You cannot edit those PDF which have been made uneditable while adding properties to this PDF. Just like there are tools. Okay, I don't think this I love PDF has a tool for. This is just password one. I'm not talking about the password protection. We can make PDF where nothing can be edited. This protect PDF relates to password. We can add a password to our. Just like if you receive sometimes through mail certain documents through insurance company or banks, you cannot open it without a password. They tell you what is the password, your date of birth, month, and so number. So there are certain documents. Those are those PDFs which are password protected. We can add this to our judgments also, but not while uploading, because if you upload it with a password, then every time someone wants to read that judgment, we'll ask for a password. Probably in future, it's likely that all these judgments as well will be available to those who have registered themselves in some kind of portal, etc. Just like at our High Court, we have online RTI. Very soon we are making online mechanism of grievance redressal, complaints also. Just like in case of complaints against judicial officers, it requires a mandatory affidavit, right? So we are trying to design a software where if someone does not upload affidavit, no complaint can be made at all. So there are ways of doing it. You can protect the PDF through password also. I would have demonstrated it out there, but this is not a paid version, so it's not working. Now this PDF A is very, very important for us, for the committee. Upgrade to PDF. Sorry. When we do PDF A, right, it almost gives most of the features that is required for making the document accessible. By most, I do not mean the higher end features, but the basic ones, it gives it itself, so that we don't have to use individual tools again and again. I'm getting you. I love PDF is your tool when you are converting. Your first step is to make it into PDF A, accessible document. Right, what else is there in the SOP? Watermark. Should we use watermark in our documents? Anyone? Except the technical persons. Pranil, I want to ask Pranil. No, he's technical. So if we use watermarks, how does it help in making the document accessible? What are watermarks? Watermarks means तपाईहरुले सुप्रिम कोर्टको जजमेन्ट देख्नु भएको नि पछाडिपछि अशोक स्तम्भ याद छ ब्याकग्राउन्ड लेखेको ब्याकग्राउन्ड याद छैन त्यसको मतलब हुन्थ्यो नि त आजकल हुँदैन अर्कै लोगोहरुलाई हामी इन्भेन्ट गर्न सक्छौं डकुमेन्टमा त्यसले जुन चाहिँ डकुमेन्ट हामी पढ्छौं त्यसलाई ह्याम्पर गर्दैन तर ब्याकग्राउन्डमा एउटा हामी त्यही लोगो देख्छौं अनि डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्टको लोगो आएर त्यसले चाहिँ के गर्छ भने वाटरमार्कले चाहिँ के गर्थ्यो भने एक टाइममा अथेन्टिक यो चाहिँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट ग्याङ्टोकको है यहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट ग्याङ्टोक लेखेको वाटरमार्क छ बट नाउअडेज द्याट्स नो लङ्गर सम काइन्ड अफ secure feature. Though it's still considered some kind of security, but anyone can put that watermark. You give me your district court watermark, I can put it in any of the document I want. Same watermark, creating the same watermark, right? So we do not use watermark. One of the essential feature of accessible document is that there should not be watermark because it hinders readability. Because see, one thing, this software, the computer, it tries to read that watermark also. Or it creates an obstruction in reading what is there written in the document. So watermark is a complete no-no while making documents accessible. In fact, there is recently just amendment is going on. We have designed a software where the certified copies will implement that in the districts also. Certified copies of judgments and orders which are there in the CIS can be obtained online. No need to visit court at all. It will, once they apply it, it will go to their email itself directly. They have to register. So we have proposed, and it's approved. Only drafting is going on. There will be no cost for providing certified copies, because once we give it in email, there is no photocopy. We are removing all those, and then we had a provision for watermark initially when we designed it, but later on when this SOP we came to know about this SOP, it says no watermark should be used. So we have done away with using watermark. So watermark was a secure thing of the past. It's now no more a thing to be considered very secure. We can exactly make a similar watermark to a judgment which you have written with a watermark and show it to you and say, see, this is your judgment with watermark. So it's not a kind of very secure thing nowadays. And more so, it inhibits the accessibility of a particular PDF document. OCR is also, if you see the digitization process in the districts, OCR is one of the SOP that is required. In the SOP, OCR is required to be done, that is optical character recognition. Now this is very essential to make the document readable. Now these are all true. While scanning also, the scanner machines which we have, it all has these facilities. It's just a matter of switching that particular facility on, and then enabling it. Whatever you are scanning, it becomes OCR enabled. The DPI also, 200 DPI or 300 DPI, which were just, and once we said why it's not being scanned properly as per the SOP, and the request which we got was of training. We have not been trained. So for so many years, then what is being done? Right? So these are, the present scanners have all these features actually, because most of the documents, we are still comfortable with scanning the documents. Even if we have a print, what we do is, even if we have a word, what we do is, we print it out, ask someone to scan, and then convert it into PDF. That's a longer process. That process needs to be done only when there is no option. There is already a printed file. If we have ourselves a printed Word document, we can always convert that directly into PDF, rather than printing that Word format into a paper and then again making it into PDF, scanning it and making it into PDF. All the scanned documents which we have can be made into as good as PDF as we can make directly through the Word. So even scanned PDFs are as good as, unless it's scanned very well, and the features that are provided by the scanner themselves must be enabled, like OCR, right? And the dots per inch DPI which we have, protection etc. won't be there in the scanners. The new scanners which we will be giving to the district very soon, it has already come, is the A3 scanners. It's a very high scanner. It's a very high level scanner. The cost of one scanner is 2,50,000. So this will be given to the district. It has all the features that which you do not have in the scanners which you have presently. So some of the features can be enabled in the scanners itself. Rest you need to go to this document creating tools and then after convert the PDF. In fact, most of our PDF, even the digitized files, not only in our state, unless some state already took some initiative on their own of making the document accessible, all our digitized documents are not accessible at all. Even the ones which we have in the repository, because this SOP came only in 2022. In fact, this SOP was not required if we were knowledgeable enough to know that we need to make documents accessible. But this, even the E-Committee at the Supreme Court level understood that it has to be made accessible, so they drew this SOP. Otherwise, the features of making a document accessible existed since very long time. We were not aware of it. So I apprehend that one fine day again we'll have to do all this scanned documents, take it out back, and then make it. Because now the SOP says only when request is made. But this is just the beginning. Once this begins, then it is obviously we need to have all those documents accessible so that request itself is not required. So it's just the starting. So one fine day, it will be better if at the district level, where case files may be less, the concerned persons can look into, and there's no harm in changing it into accessible documents. The one which is there in the repository, taking it out, because it has already been scanned and put in there. You can still use that documents to make it a PDF, the accessible document, which is not there at all in the districts anywhere. So, from my experience, things begin this way in the course project. Now there is only SOP, but one fine day something will come which will say make all your documents accessible, whichever is there. So why to wait then? Whatever scanning is being done right now, you can make it into accessible format, and then districts can from their OE purchase Adobe Pro. It's 19,000. Just yesterday I saw the price, and that is affordable for the districts, and no one's permission is required for that. The district itself is the competent authority to sanction it, so no permission is required from our end. Another very important thing which is not here, because this is not a paid version. As I said, why tag is important is, see, in a PDF document, trials, right? Prepared and compiled by Sikkim Judicial Academy, what we may call it a subheading, and it's too small to be called a subheading. Now, the problem with this document technically is that, if this is a heading, this ought not to be of this small size. There is a rule of heading where, the next size should come in. Or if this is not a head, then, this size is manually given size. We can have headings of this size also, but by looking into this document, one can say that this is not a technically given heading, but this is a manually given heading. The font size is manually given object. Now this could be under heading index. Now, have anyone used readers in their phones or wherever it is? Sometimes, how does it read? It goes on, of course it differentiates comma and full stop, but it's as if it's going through one whole line together. Like appreciation of evidence in criminal trials prepared and compiled by Sikkim Judicial Academy. This is how that screen is. But there is a feature called tag, which is not out here in this software, where you can tag, which is a heading. We can say this is a heading. Once you tag this as a heading, the reader will read this as a heading, and as a heading should be read. You will say appreciation of evidence in criminal trials. The gap which it has to be between two documents, the two headings, it will be appropriate, because that particular reader has been designed in such a way that it will be reading heading in a particular manner, the contents in a particular manner, index in a particular manner. If you don't tag the contents or whatever is there in the document, then it will go on one flow without making any distinction between headings, the contents which are numbered. Okay. Next, chapter 1 documentary evidence, chapter 5 of evidence act, introduction. Documentary evidence means all documents will go this way. But if we tag the PDF document, we will tag this, it's not that which I can't show out there. We will tag this as a heading. There are options. How do you tag it? Once you use tag, it will give you options whether you want to tag it as a heading or a content or a subheading. Okay. So I will be tagging this chapter 1 and documentary evidence. I will be tagging this as heading 1. There is so much option that if I tag this as heading 1 and this as heading 2, the method of reading the heading 1 and heading 2 will also differ. It recognizes how to read the main heading and this subheading. And I will tag this as heading 3. It will read this heading 3 differently. And I will tag this paragraph as contents that has to be read in a particular way. So it will be as if someone is speaking in a fully correct way of speaking English, even while reading it. I wouldn't say chapter 1 documentary evidence, there are inverted commas, there are gaps. Chapter 1, how would I read it? Documentary evidence. There's a bracket, I will give a gap. Chapter 5 of Evidence Act. Introduction. Documentary evidence means all documents produced for the inspection of the court. Full stop. So it will be as if a real human is reading that document if we use tag. Now this makes it more ease for the visually challenged people. That's the point of tagging. And there are lots of features in that tagging. How you can design a document to be readable in a particular manner. So that is tagging. Did everyone get tagging? As in this, it will be usually technical persons who will be doing this, at least initially, till someone learns to do it, who are from the other sections, right? So no need to worry too much, your technical persons are here. Once they are comfortable with it, they can pass on their knowledge to the sections which will actually do this job as and when the request is made. And to be frank, there are differently able lawyers in our state. Later on I got a long list. After we proposed the names for the committee, later on someone gave me a list which had many names. But we said that we have already proposed. In fact, in East we have, from East only, anyone from East lawyer? We have 2 lawyers who we were told one of them is visually, up to 50% or something, visually challenged. So she is also in the committee. I do not know why they are not here today. Because the direction of the Supreme Court was that to include, as far as possible, the persons who are differently abled. So some of the districts we could not get anyone, so they are the ones who we have just put lawyers without looking into whether they are differently able or not, except East we got. So that is the point of tagging. Anything else left in this? E-stamps we won't do because what will happen in a document if you have those physical stamps, which we still have, what we call it, non-judicial stamp or something we call it. When we scan it, that stamp comes as it is. So when we are making it accessible, that stamp is just a paper. The software or the machine does not recognize as something readable. So it's high time our state also should have e-stamp, but how far we can push, we don't know. Even a basic thing as e-stamp is such a huge thing in our state that people just don't understand. When you try to explain them, we should move on from this. So in fact, we have a hard time in pushing this project. Now we did make online certified copies free of cost. What about that stamp? It's so hard to decide. So I don't know if I correctly remember, I think we have done away with stamp also. How much revenue comes from it? I don't know. That's a very particular, and that too, we have so many legal aids, and the government itself does not put that stamp. So we decided that the government itself is not bothered. They are taking all the certified copies free of cost. Were you aware of this? They take free of cost to the government. Right. And the most bulkiest documents are theirs which they are taking. So we can remove it and this 10 rupees of stamp also. Now let them photocopy it themselves. Let's see now what we have. So now we have passed the buck to them and we photocopy, we'll send it to them. We are not photocopying. Because one of the problem of photocopying was, there's different types of people who apply for certified copies. Some apply for whole case file and never take that documents. Waste of paper. I think Madam is aware of that. Madam knows one person, also we will not talk about that person, who applies whole lot but does not take. So unless e-stamps comes, the stamps which we are using now, when we are scanning it, it is not readable, it's just a piece of paper. And the accessibility means that a visually challenged person must see the document through ear by hearing it as good as we see it for sure. If there is a e-stamp, it's not that why what is the use of e-stamp for visualization? But it's not that. The point of making accessibility is the person should be able to see this document in mind. Of course, they will not be able to see it through with their eyes, right? But in their mind, they should be able to see this document. They should be able to see whatever is there in that document. That is the point of making the document accessibility. As good as we see it. Otherwise, there's no point, just making some kind of a basic rudimentary form which they can hear through the air and knowing what this document is. We want, the aim of the committee is to make it a document which is as good as a document that is used by a normal person. So even for these logos, right, we can make it readable. With these logos are there, we can always make it readable. Like pictures, what will you do with pictures now? In a case, sometimes there may be photographs, right? Sometimes we may be using symbols. These all things can be made readable. If there is a cow's picture, okay, we will not leave that just while making it accessible, just with the picture of cow. We will be putting in, when the document is being read, it says there is a picture of cow. This is the whole point of making this document, meaning of making document accessible. Now we may come to the role of the committee. Is there a tea break? Please remind me. I don't have that program schedule.
11:30.
11:39? Because even though the sessions were kept for morning and afternoon, it's not required at all. 2 hours is sufficient for this. When I have to, because our areas are stuck, And you know what is the ground? You have got it?
No money.
No money. The ground is we have put in transfer grants in the head allowances and not in travel allowance. So we are arguing your interpretation is wrong. It's an allowance. Whether I come walking or I come through vehicle, that's my discretion. No? I said I came walking carrying my utensils, etc. whatever it is. So they are saying no, the transfer grant is travelling, it relates to travelling, therefore you should have made bill on the travelling allowance with us. We are saying no, we have put it on the allowance, leave it. So let's see how it works. Today is the last day. If it doesn't work, then it won't come till June. Right? Because there's election coming on and I don't think the government will sit and vote on upon Mother Kingdom. So let's see. We have fund, we see at least those who don't have fund, we don't have fund. That's something of a solace. But for us, we have fund, still we are not getting it. And just yesterday, day before yesterday, they objected. Apparently intentionally, just to me. Apparently intentionally, we gave it a week ago, knowing that 31st is coming. So I don't know, some of them have gone to convince, cannot convince them. So I think the role of the committee is also mentioned here, right? As a district staff, your documents are not going anyone. Each one of you from each of the district. Let me not choose. If I have to choose, I'll choose or say someone. Okay, you Mr. John. Another kina banaka raheछ accessible documents. You are UDA, LDA.
Usually 10 is possibility, numbers forms of
के गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ यसमा त्यो पढ्ने बनाउनुलाई चाहिँ आई लभ पिडिएफ नि त्यो टुल्स हेर्नु हो त्यहाँनेरि टुल्सहरु छ त्यो युज गरेर डकुमेन्टलाई जति बेसी युज गरे त्यति बेसी त्यसलाई मजाले रिडेबल बनाउन सकिन्छ। आँखाले त पढ्न सक्दैन, तर स्क्रिन बोल्छ कि यहाँ के लेखेको छ, बुझ्नुभयो नि। र यो स्क्रिनले यो मजाले पढोस् भनेर चाहिँ यो डकुमेन्टमा बहुतवटा काम गर्न सकिन्छ पिडिएफ डकुमेन्टमा, सो द्याट यो मजाले पढियोस् भनेर। नभए त ठाडै पढिदिन्छ सिधै, बुझ्नुभयो नि। फुल स्टप चिन्नु पऱ्यो, ग्याप चिन्नु पऱ्यो, प्याराग्राफ चिन्नु पऱ्यो, हेडिङ चिन्नु पऱ्यो। त्यसको लागि चाहिँ यहाँ टुल्सहरू छ। आई लभ पिडिएफ तपाईँले मैले भने सफ्टवेयर पाउँछ, सफ्टवेयर किन्नुपर्छ डिस्ट्रिक्टले, त्यो सफ्टवेयर किनेर त्यसलाई अझै बेसी राम्ररी पढ्ने बनाउनु सकिन्छ। Pagination etc. is not required, right? We all know pagination, and the technical persons would also know pagination. The only important things in this were, the tagging. Tagging is the most important in this making accessible document. The more better it is tagged, why not enjoy for some time? So one can look into these videos also once I become this. Once you go back, nowadays whatever we want to get in the YouTube. So even I saw this, even I have to see this to understand what is tagging. This video is quite good. The one with this person. I looked into others also, but this was one of the best videos I ever saw. Why those people? Actually, we don't use it because we think we don't need it, right? But actually, we need it. Some of the offices, I think, cannot have a PDF document without these tools at all. For them, it is a mandatory thing. Without this, it is not in PDF for them at all. We don't use it. That's why we think that it's not required.
The committee to do lip reading also.
Because I found out that in many companies, private companies, where they deal with documents PDF, in fact they don't use physical papers. They use PDF, and first thing that they do is check the accessibility feature of the PDF. If it does not match to their standard, it's rejected. So that's how mandatory it is for them to have this document being made accessible. Adobe tool which it has, it just not only creates an accessible document, but you can check how accessible is your particular document also, and how well. Just like there is an heading tag, right? You are showing some heading tag. Now, if you put that tag in the paragraph, the computer will not recognize whether it's a heading or not. It's your tag that you put into to recognize whether it's heading. So if you use the heading tag in the paragraph, while reading, it will read the paragraph as a heading. So therefore, this also can be checked whether the tags has been put in correctly or not. So if we are making a document, accessible document, or someone else has made, if it comes to us, we can always check that whether it is properly accessible or not. So if someone has tagged heading as a paragraph, while checking it will show that it has been tagged, a heading has been tagged as a paragraph, and that can be changed. recognizes whether the document is accessible or not at present being used, or even what section do we call that? Filing section does not see whether the PDFs are accessible or not. So far there is no rules on this, therefore we skip this. Therefore the documents which are being e-filed are not accessible at all. So what this leads to is doing the same work twice. Now, if someone has not filed a properly accessible document, then it is the work of the committee. So far only when request is made, but later on the whole court itself needs to make it accessible. So a task is being done at the court level. But if someone who is sending the document itself makes it accessible, which can be done just using this tool. And it's not that every time you will have to do, except a few tools, every time you will have to use that settings while creating a document. It's not that, it will be set and it will be creating most of the basic features in accessible format. Once we use that tool, will be there enabled. Only some things we need to add on. So now there is no rule by which we can tell the lawyers to file accessible. In fact, in one of the programs when I said this, that e-filing does not mandate filing accessible document, they said we are just waiting for it. So one fine day that is going to come, and it will be the courts which will be checking whether it's accessible or not. So increasing task, right? So that's going to come one fine day. So far e-filing, the PDF which are coming are not accessible and does not stick to the SOP provided in the accessible document. That's why the task has been given to this committee, except to the committee when a request is made. So it's a simple thing as of now, but this will definitely grow in future. Every document has to be accessible. Just like we are translating judgments now into language, though very slowly, it's mandatory to have language judgment. In fact, the legislations are also being translated, but that will be done by the state government. So, thing which was once an option is now mandatory, so this is going to be mandatory one fine day. First they will start with court only. They will not directly go to lawyers to say, file an accessible. They will not go. They will start with court. They will say that convert all your documents which are not accessible into accessible. So very soon that task is coming, and I don't know how we will cope with it, given the size of the manpower which we have as of now. I don't know whether it's available online or not. Let me show you one thing. We take digitization so simply, but if we still don't wake up one fine day, we'll have to redo everything. A few days back there was a program on digitization, right? Anyone from this group who had attended that program? Here it's a digitization program back then, districts but not. Hasn't? Taba digitization gone, then why he was nominated? No, idioms are on back there. Then why not raising hand? Please tell me. I have been told that it's not possible to do digitize according to the SOP provided. What is the impossibility in that according to the SOP? No, someone was telling me that it's not possible to digitize as per the SOP even now. Scanner very soon we are giving, even if approval was there, I would have given it today itself. It's there. So scanner 300 dpi scanner. Most of our documents will get rejected and we will again have to start from the beginning. Let's say they provide funds. I do not know why it was stopped in the past that all the high courts, including the district courts, have outsourced this scanning process. I do not know why it was stopped out here. In fact, we may be given amount for this. So if we get money and if we represent, So I'm planning to outsource this one, so that proper manpower comes and it gets expedited. I cannot promise, but rest all the high courts have outsourced digitization. None are doing in-house except us. So let's see in the new financial year, if we are given money, then we'll give to some NICSI does it. NICSI is a part of NIC only, okay. It has its own vendors, they do it. So once we give them, we need not worry about all these things. We'll ask them to make it accessible also. And then, but we have very few case files left now, right? I could also has now only 4,000 files left. So I think district line pura sabe. So whether adjacent. Okay then. Let's see if we get the money, then I want to outsource it.
Actually, is the single. So for the big one,
Ajay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I'll definitely do if the money comes.
They were not trained earlier.
This year also, we were not doing it in-house. Even I was not aware that that money meant for this digitization and scanning, manpower. I thought it's for machines. So I put a proposal for a lot of big machines. In the end, they said that this is actually for manpower. So I said, now we cannot revert back. We have already, asked money, and they gave us the money. So it's for our scanners, which we have brought exclusive 23 scanners, high-speed scanners, A3 scanners, which can scan even the big pages. The present scanners is limited to A4 size or something, what they call it. Now that maps, etc., can be scanned in one go. Machine has come, we will be distributing it very soon. Yes, ma'am. We have got the machine. It just reached day before yesterday. We will be sending it to district once it gets approved. It will get approved, no doubt, but need to have some kind of formal approval for sending it to districts. So we are waiting for HCZ to come back, and then we will send it. There's come desktops, etc. Almost, but I do not know. Just district judges are also here. Last time we went to wrongly, right? And E-Seva Kendra, on our record we have given it to wrongly, so many machines, but it was just one machine was there. So later on we found that maybe no one sat there, the judge, no regular judge was stationed there. So I think each district kept it all. Now they have given it. So it could be that in the subdivisions also. Now what came in my mind was, no, I should myself go to all the subdivisions and see what they actually require. But since I can rely on district judges, because that requires a long tour also. If I get time, I'll definitely go. But if the exact requirement is given, that would be much better, because I'm not blaming anyone, but some are taking excess, and then some of the subdivisions are not having it. So let it be, distributed properly. That's my point. So maybe we'll ask requisition very soon. Let us get the exact requisition from the district, what they need. And like subdivisions, where they're wrongly, there's PPs, and we can have 2 desktops for them also. There's no problem. We have 92 desktops actually. Where to keep it? So, of course, it will be on priority basis. First the court, then the staff, then public prosecutors we can give. Because last time we went to wrongly, and there's just one computer in E-Seva Academy. So I think it comes under your jurisdiction. It has a filing center, but only that doors are there, nothing is there. We can't provide table, but you give me exact requirement of computers for your subdivision. And for all other learned district judges also. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's on process. No, you yourself do it kindly, please. Because that would be much better. I know how it works down there, because I've been there once at least. Or you can rely on a judicial magistrate also. Otherwise they will tell, they won't. That's why I'm telling. Now, I'm telling today because the past requisitions, according to my understanding, some took more even when it was not required, and some didn't get even a few of them. So let the distribution be fairly. That's my point at this time. So if required, we also can go to, at least we won't go to districts, but subdivisions. They really need it. And don't worry about the technical persons are being appointed very soon. It's in the stage of Viva. I want to strengthen the subdivisions. If my view is approved, then subdivisions will get technical person, at least technical assistant level. So that we will do it. Yeah, we have got Pak Yong's problem for wrongly. It's in process. We just can't jump and tell someone go there. The whole process has to be there. Sorry, I didn't get. I got only for Pak Yong. Yeah, sorry, wrongly. E-Seva Kendra one. And E-Seva Kendra also. We are not writing it, but usually the problem is that people think if you employ them in contract, one fine day they are going to get that job. Okay. Of course, the High Court has been good enough, I would say, to even when there was no money, I said let's remove them. We can't keep these E-Seva Kendra people because there's no money to be paid. But Honorable Chief said no, we will not remove them. They've got a job, keep them. Find a way out. So then the only way out was that MOU. Let's put it up on districts, he will pay the money. That's how we kept them in job. But still it doesn't mean that they have a right to extension. If the performance is not good, then the district judges are well and free to appoint someone else on that contract. No need to ask us also. So that letter, I think it came yesterday. So because people think, because we are extended. See, I've been from the districts, and it's not that I was born in that High Court. Because we have appointed people. There could be someone better. But since now they are getting job 15,000 per month, we also get a little bit of sympathetic, especially in the districts when it's small place, people hardly get job. But still that does not mean we can at the cost of our establishment just give job to someone whose performance is not up to the mark. So in E-Seva Kendra employees, if the performance is not up to the mark, then they can be removed and a new person can be appointed because the salary is from district court. So yesterday we have sent a letter. So any other thing which can be discussed apart from this also?
One thing I wanted to discuss.
Yeah.
Accessibility only. Right now we're talking about accessibility in terms of how the litigant gets access to these documents that are accessible. But another aspect we may have to look into is, supposing a PWD, a person with disabilities, wants to do e-filing.
Yes, yes.
Now, especially in High Court, yes,
yes.
every page needs to be signed.
Yeah.
So that becomes quite difficult for a person with disability. So if a provision for digital signatures can be made, that may also help.
Yeah, good point. So far we are providing digital signatures to all the court staff in the High Court. Initially we had thought about district. I think district we are giving only to ADMs because we were dearth of it, because suddenly a direction came that all the files now need to be moved through e-software. We are being given software. So this year we got 66 digital signatures from the e-courts project, but we are confining this to High Court staff. But in that case, the thing would be, we should be knowing who are the litigants in that manner.
So if you've seen the SOP, there's a provision for making a list of
lawyers, yes.
disabilities, or also having some provision for persons with disabilities.
Yes, yes.
Maybe if you could have some sort of form system, and then provided that person then gets the ability to do the e-filing with digital signatures. Other than, again, the poor chap has to come every time.
Yes,
sign
sir.
every
So
page.
if you meant by litigants, the representing lawyers, then yes, that's very much possible. We can identify the lawyers who are visually challenged and give them digital signatures. No problem, we can do that. But if you say litigants, then we do not know which litigant will come with a litigation on a particular case or a particular day and to which court. So it may not be possible to give it to a litigant unless the litigant has actually come to the court and there is a case pending. So generally we cannot generalize litigants. But if it's a lawyer, those who are PWDs, we can give digital signatures. No problem in that. A good point, yes, and then we'll take note of that. Okay. And for the lawyers, of course, we have identified 2 lawyers so far. We can give them digital signatures. But that also again requires a laptop. There's a provision of digitally signing documents through Aadhaar also. That is much more easier and much more comfortable for the persons who uses phone at least. But only thing is that your mobile number must be linked with that Aadhaar, your Aadhaar. Only then it starts working. And I have done few transactions using this Aadhaar OTP. It's super fast, despite the database being so huge. Yes, in any case, we can discuss this in the meeting also. We will be calling a meeting also of committee, and the districts also maybe at your discretion need to call a meeting of your own committee and decide, because I think that quarter is already gone. Even we have not done it at the High Court level, that placing before the committee the quarterly report of how many such requests were made, and it must be displayed in the website also that this is the committee, and if anyone requiring accessibility has to may contact so and so. There is one mandate to do it in the website also. And we can sensitize our staffs also. Take it as a sensitization also. If such people come, not only lawyers, okay, if anyone such people comes, we may encounter such people in courts, then please guide that person to the committee. Okay, so at any level, sometimes the committee sits somewhere, they are spread somewhere, some are lawyers, some are judges. So it will be the staffs available in the court premises who will be the first contact. District judges and other judges will also be in their chamber. We hardly see things, what's going on outside. So take it as a sensitization. A lot of people come in courts. I have seen in courts, and if we are not careful, they are shoved off from the door only. I have seen that. So let's not do that. Some people don't know, and they go to police station. So once some document is given, they directly come to court. Police only will say, go to court. Okay, that person, and of course even in the court staffs are also engaged, and someone comes, can you help me on this? It may be irritating, right? But we are not that, no? Our institution is not that. So as a sensitization also, so many staffs are here who will actually not be involved in all these processes, but still take it as a sensitization and help these people and take it to the committee. It may take time to convert these documents, but yes, we can give it. We cannot say no, such people won't come. Some very educated, visually challenged person from other places may come and find that if you do not have this facility of providing things, then they might really take it further. So as we all are in courts, we need to be careful of very small things also. We cannot say that this thing will not rise disproportionately to some extent, and we are always under scanners. So let's help on this too. Mr. Tukden is smiling. So we have to be very careful. This is, of course, it is not a new thing, but in judiciary it's starting. Initially, of course, there will be hiccups, but let's move on and progress on this. Let's have some kind of. In fact, in future, maybe we will be. In fact, there's nothing wrong in at present also making our judgments fully accessible using those tools. Just one step, yeah.
The accessible documents right now is for people who can hear, right? I mean, like, who will be able to, who has a system that will read the documents.
Yes.
Is there any space, for instance, if the person does not have any device, alright? So if we can print it in the form of braille also, the documents can any such software?
Yeah, that also can be, maybe it will be done in future, because this what you said is correct. In fact, for us also, even High Court doesn't have Adobe Pro. Just yesterday we thought we will buy it.
So what if the person is...
People are still not sensitive in this front. Even my technical team were not sensitive. So many tools they didn't know about. So yeah, at the most at present we have that E-Seva Kendra.
If the person is visually impaired and has hearing impairment also, then they won't be able to have these documents.
Then Braille is required, definitely.
So I think we need to develop something that can be printed in the print form.
So let's see. So far, none of the committee has sat for meeting, even at the High Court. Well,
I'll put a suggestion in my committee.
Yeah, that can be done so that we get. It's always better to have a whole lot of brains than one.
So probably the High Court website and the
High Court website is readable.
in-court services also should be.
No, High Court website is readable. If you have a screen reader, you can read it. Screen reader is required.
So every person might not have that.
No, without some kind of software tool, it's not possible. The website will not read itself. It's impossible, even given the technology now. It can't read itself. It need to have that reader. It can be downloaded and installed. There's no problem. You can download at your own computer also, at your district also, and use that. I think where is that? Pranil, download the screen readers. There's no problem, right? And put it in all the systems. Screen reader is definitely required. Without that, it can. That's just a tool. I think free tools are available. Screen readers. What we have installed is free tool and the High Court. It reads High Court website. So yeah, valid point. But being practical, things are being put in place, no doubt. But really, who can access this is still a problem in all the fields, not only in this. Like CIS, NJDG, who accesses NJDG with data? Those who have computers and something, or someone who are really interested. Some poor people from the village cannot. It has not reached them at all. And to my understanding, people compare it with Facebook. If the villagers can use Facebook, why not? It's some kind of social media which is interesting. Why would someone just go to NZDZ for no reason and see the data? So I don't understand that. Okay, so that's my view, personal view. Of course, we cannot expect people to use our data, see our data as they see on the Facebook and so on. That's so easy. And we are not willing to go into these fields, We are prohibiting live streaming also being broadcast in the social, but you get it so many. There are so many tools which you can record and put it in there. And no one has objected also so far, as long as it's being shown good. Some of the live streaming of High Court is available in Facebook, Instagram. We get it while scrolling, right? If you have seen it. Particularly of one honorable judge, we see very frequently. So I think there has been no objection so far, because everything what is being shown is on the good side. So the day something else happens, they might say no. But we can't stop this. If we want to reach to the people, we cannot stop not going to social media. Let it be what will happen. Unless some grave thing happens, let it go on. That's my personal belief. Otherwise, why would people come type www.njdg.so and try to see it? Without do we go to hospital without getting it? It's as simple as that to my understanding. But Facebook or Instagram, we just on bed also we can access and see it. So let's not compare it with that. People compare and say, the information, the awareness has not reached to the ground level. People comment this. Obviously, unless there is an illness, unless there's a particular illness that is floating around which needs to be aware, people will not get aware, right? So it's the same thing to my understanding about this also. Why would people want to see it if they don't have reason to see it? Of course, education is one of the things which may in the future, if we have good education and our country rises in education, in one fine day, everyone will be aware of their rights. Once you are aware of the rights, you will want to know more things about law, etc. We are still not at that stage, to my understanding. So anything else we may discuss? And it's 12. I hope no one is from SJ. I hope the lunch is there. That's all. Otherwise, there's no point going out. I said, what's his name? I forgot him. Let's put an end to it.